Hello, Namaste, welcome back to my channel. This is 𝗦𝗛𝗔𝗛 once again and welcome back to my channel 𝗦𝗛𝗔 stock analyst. So in today's video, I would like to discuss something regarding the Russia-Ukraine war or conflict, update on that, and how it's going to impact, how it's going to pan out as per my view in the future, and its impact on the Indian stock exchange and generally globally economy and the stock market. So, as you know, you must have heard about it in recent times that Ukraine's so-called most famous counter-attack against Russia is going to happen. It has started. So yes, in a way, it is true that in last 1 week or so, there had been many drone attacks from the Ukrainian side on the 𝗫𝗫𝗏 region. 𝗫𝗫𝗏 is a town region. It is near Ukraine border and not very far from Moscow also. It's around 650 kilometers from Moscow. So many these drone attacks have happened that mostly that the Russian government has evacuated that city and shifted all the residents to the other parts because of that. That is one thing, and you must have heard about that 𝗥𝗂𝗀𝗀𝗀 hydroelectric dam also, which was blasted by Ukraine or whatever. Some people say that Western media says that Russia and others say that Ukraine, but you have to think by your own logic that it was under Russian occupation. It was under that region, and that particular area was under Russian occupation. So why would Russia blast that dam? So that gives the answer that it was blasted by Ukraine, and now it has been devastating. It is havoc actually. It has created havoc in that region and Kherson region particularly. But whatever said and done, all this so-called counterattacks, heavy counterattacks and all this thing, it is all totally foiled by Russian army, and there has been nothing major. I think there has been heavy losses on the Ukrainian side. That's what I can vouch for. Nothing much as I'm here in Moscow. Also, there were some 2 drone attacks that happened 1 week before, last Sunday, but that's it, and nothing much had, it had not impacted anything. It was just damaged some buildings, some portion of that window of the building. So, all these so-called bravery stories of the Ukrainian army and NATO and all these things, this is all Western media propaganda. So, I just wanted to give you the bare truth about what is happening. It is nothing. It's not heavy losses on Russian side. It is literally wiping out of Ukrainian army or whatever the equipments has been supplied from by the NATO and the Western country, USA. So that has been happening actually. It's wiping out by Russian army. There has not been anything as far as the recapture of regions by Ukraine or Ukrainian army. Nothing of that sort has happened, whether it is in Donbass or that Zaporizhzhia and Bakhmut. All this is, everything is under Russian army, only Russian occupation, and no fruitful counter-offensive has happened. So what it means generally for the world and for this thing? It means is that, if you see my previous video, I had told that the Indian stock market and the Indian particular economy will continue to do well as long as the Russia-Ukraine war keeps on going. So what I believe is also that this is the final kind of final or last ditch attempt by Ukraine, putting all their whatever remaining resources or manpower, because the huge losses they have. In 200,000 and more people, Ukrainian army has died. So I don't know how many people they have left, but they are putting that in the last ditch effort. So you will see that I think this is the last ditch effort, and after that, if that will be finished, after that there won't be any manpower left from Ukrainian side. So either it can happen that if NATO thinks or USA thinks that they can jump into this and they can directly take the fight, then all the best, well and good. but otherwise then it will be the end. So summer end, and by August, September you will see that all these resources of Ukrainian would be finished and would be destroyed by, I'm sure, by Russian side, and that would be the kind of a not end, because this will continue to simmer for next 10-15 years, like India-Pakistan, it's that China-India border. So that issue is never going to be resolved but some kind of a temporary peace and acceptance of whatever the, as on the actual control, line of actual control, LAC, not of line of control, but line of actual control will be considered as the temporary peace truce and the temporary border, and that is how. So we will see that this summer ending, till the summer end, by August we will see some kind of a scenario where Ukraine will have nothing much left to fight, and there will be forced to some kind of a negotiation. And in the meanwhile, if you look at the market, and particularly Wall Street and Indian stock market and all these things, so they had made the top, like Nifty 50 had made 18,800 top in December 2022, and after that it was in decline and correction, and then till March, and then in April and May it again made, and now it is also at the same kind of, it has reached the double top. So if you look at the technically chart wise, then Nifty 50 has made double top. Same S&P 500 and Nasdaq also has kind of made double top, or it is in the process to reach there. So from the now onwards, there is not much scope left. What people were doing, or what investors were doing all this time, was rotating. So it is all these operators, they rotate. So one cycle with one particular IT segment or one particular sector. So it's a sector rotation. So if that oil and gas is running, so that way the Nifty was managed. After that, oil and gas story finished, so then they started the IT. Again, they suddenly, in the name of artificial intelligence and NVIDIA, they started running this IT Nasdaq, and because of that, Indian IT also, all the stocks ran. And that's why in last 1 month, what you saw the market rally, that was because of the IT, banking and auto sector, that all this auto revolution is happening, and banking is as usual. But as I told you, now that story is finished, because that valuation doesn't permit any more, there is that attractiveness of, it's gone. So what sectors they may try to do, I don't know. I mean, they are run out of that sector. So that is why the double top is there, and double top means that there will be a correction in the stock market, particularly in the index. So you can do index selling, or you can sell those stocks which has made rally in last 1 month. So like IT has made, particularly this TCS and those kind of had rallied. Then if Reliance had somewhat gone up, you can even short that. And banking stocks, definitely one can sell. Automotive stock also, automobile, auto sector stocks also, auto ancillaries, that also had rallied very much, so that can also be time for correction. So this way, market will be, and one thing can be sure, that there won't be major correction happening in Indian stock market as long as the Russia war goes on and the China slowdown continues. So whatever the expectations of the people in the world, particularly, these are all speculation. Market works on what? It's speculation only. That now Fed will do this, and Fed will stop this, so market will go. If Fed will continue also, then also market will go up. So there is no logic, because they will always find something to sell the idea as this. Oh, if this has not happened, okay, definitely it is. Before they will say that it is bad if this doesn't happen, but after this it doesn't happen, then they will say, oh, in a way it was good that it didn't happen, so that now other story can come. So don't go by this market. Valuation is the king, and as long as the China continues to remain under weather and slow down, which I believe it will continue to do so in this year, it is not going to recover despite the hopes and the propaganda of many of these Western investors. Europe is slowing down, China will slow down, and that is the reason that the money is keeping, the foreign money keeps on in the Indian market. They are not selling out and going. unless and until if you'll see the China coming out and starting to perform the economy, and Russia-Ukraine war kind of stops, so that India stops getting that cheaper oil, then it will be a different story. But long-term correction I don't see. Yes, technical correction is there, which is going to be there because of this Nifty 50 double top. So in the technically temporary, we can see a correction in the market in the short term, overall globally also, in the S&P 500 also, and in Indian stock market, and because of that I think you will see correction in the most of the world stock market, because everything goes down together, goes up together. That is the way, with little bit of a lag. So that's what I just wanted to share my thoughts with you. And before I just close this, I request, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, you please subscribe to get all these unique ideas and updates. And also I have a Telegram channel where I keep on a frequent basis, I keep on coming out with some ideas or my perspective and analysis about what is happening in my economy and on different parts. That is also 𝗦𝗛𝗔𝗛 Stock Analyst. I have a website, www.steelanalyst.com, where you can find out my articles, and also if you want any consultancy on business, investment between Russia, India, which is the sector, where to invest, which stock, which asset, all these things we can discuss on a chargeable basis. You can write to me and I will reply to you, where we can set up a meeting for the money. So that is all just I wanted to share, and see you again with some other unique idea. Till then, ciao from Neeraj from Moscow.